Dogs and cats living together. Vegetarian. Wow! Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig
it? Hey guys, and welcome back to the Lucid Nightmare. I'm your host as always, Jay Schatzer, and today I've got a great post-apocalyptic flick lined up. It is Sergio Martino's 1983 classic. It is 2019 After the Fall of New York. And this is a crazy, crazy, crazy flick. If you haven't seen it, you're in for one hell of a ride. So let's get right into this one. Here is 2019 After the Fall of New York. 2019 After the Fall of New York is an insanely grungy Italian action flick directed by the twisted genre mastermind Sergio Martino. Shamefully replicating the style and feel of John Carpenter's classic post-apocalyptic film Escape from New York, Martino gives it a heavy dose of Italian 80s sleaze and B-grade weirdness. Often silly but ultimately extremely enjoyable, 2019 After the Fall of New York is an essential flick for anyone that digs the post-apocalyptic movement of the 1980s. The film takes place in a post-nuclear America, where the world is turned to shit and humanity is but a mere shadow of its former self. A wasteland hero named Parsifal is forcibly recruited by a corrupt reigning government to retrieve the last fertile woman on Earth. Pinpointed as being somewhere inside the ruined urban landscape of New York City, Parsifal sets off into the radiated cesspool that is the Big Apple, where he must fight through mutants, psychos, and all manners of living hells in order to bring back the girl alive and possibly save the human race in the process. Michael Sopkiw takes on the role of Parsifal, mankind's last true hope for survival, and he approaches the character with a healthy swagger and unabashed charisma. Trapped in B-grade Italian movie hell, Sopkiw was the go-to guy for many of Italy's most notorious but enjoyable productions. In 2019, After the Fall of New York, he's actually able to shine quite a bit in the central role. Being the driving force of the piece, Sopkiw gives it his all in reimagining his own version of Kurt Russell's Snake Plissken, ultimately giving that stereotypical character type some new life and energy. It may be incredibly cheesy, but the genuine and honest rip on Carpenter's famous character is too much fun to write off and dismiss as a simple cinematic hack. I actually really enjoyed Sopkiw in the role, and felt that he gave it his own flavor while at the same time not straying far from the fun aspects that made the original character so damn badass and entertaining. Aside from Michael Sopkiw's outrageous performance as Parsifal, the real stunner of this strange oddity of a film is the overall weirdness of everything on display. From the crusader-dressed enforcers of the city, to the sewer-dwelling rejects of the decayed society living below, to the hairy race of man-beasts that inhabit this world, the movie is a loopy outlook on a post-apocalyptic civilization. It's pretty much batshit crazy, and to their credit, Sergio Martino and crew do an amazing job in holding it all together and making it look somewhat respectable and authentic. The general visual look of the post-apocalyptic ruins of New York City is absolutely haunting, draped in a thick fog and teeming with oddities around every corner. For a low-budget Italian action flick, the beautiful grittiness of the production is top-notch perfection, and I immensely love the filthiness of it all. 2019 After the Fall of New York is a post-apocalyptic film like no other. Though it borrows heavily from its inspirational brethren, Escape from New York, it still manages to etch out a special and unique place for itself. Out of all of Sergio Martino's outstanding genre efforts, I have to say that 2019 After the Fall of New York is my absolute favorite. It's got a batshit crazy premise, a plethora of loony characters, and a sleazy style that completely covers every aspect of this out-of-control production. If you love post-apocalyptic films and you're a sucker for 80s Italian sleaze, then give this one a shot. It's an amazing quagmire of cinematic splendor, and one that you won't soon forget after viewing. 2019 After the Fall of New York is apocalyptic awesomeness. And guys, that is the highly outrageous 2019 After the Fall of New York. Sergio Martino's best, and one of his most loopy. But guys, that's it for me today. Hope you enjoyed that weird one, and I hope you like what I'm doing here. If you do, please like and subscribe. And if you have time, leave a comment below because I'd love to hear from you. But until then guys, I will see you at the next movie review. Take care.